Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's message, Do Unto Others, from Matthew 7:12. So whatever you wish that others would do to you, do also to them. For this is the law of the prophets. A simple rule of thumb, treat others the way that you want to be treated, otherwise known as the golden rule. A principle in which we're taught to treat others with respect, kindness, and empathy. A moral standard for a life well lived in love of others and in an ethical way of creating reciprocity. But what happens when someone chooses to act in an adverse way? In today's world, we sometimes find ourselves on the receiving end of those who do not say or do nice things to us. Sometimes we are the perpetrator in this scenario, even if we don't intend to be. And because we're sinful and judgmental as humans, we sometimes treat others inferior or act like they're our enemy. And I've heard so many times the word narcissist used for these people who tend to use words and actions to hurt others. So I got curious, who is a narcissist anyway? Well, I'm going to explain this word because I think it's used all too easily. Narcissism is actually a disorder. And those who have it are grandiose, they need admiration, and they lack empathy toward other people. They have a hard time maintaining relationships. They feel unfulfilled. They feel they're more important than others, and they want success and power, and they exploit others for personal gain, especially sexually. And these people need therapy to learn how to cope and develop healthy relationships. Now, not everyone who hurts you will fall into this category, though I've heard many being accused. And in my past, I inflicted pain on someone because I was mad at them, and I was hurt myself by their actions toward me. And I'm also willing to tell you that I've dealt with a true narcissist and with someone who was hurt by others and chose just to hurt me too because they just didn't know another way. And with this experience, I've been able to set some rules and make sure that I don't find myself in that predicament ever again. But it took a lot of reflection and learning how to be empathetic toward others. I had to get out of my head and choose to connect with others using my heart instead. And I had to learn to love myself and love God. And this occurred to me, because God opened my eyes to myself and to others. It was painful, and facing it was brutal. And I'm not going to lie about that. But I am definitely also not the person I was 9 months ago when this journey began. And I'm wiser and I'm more loving. And it really took a miracle to fix all the wrongs done to myself and for myself by others. And it's why I'm here to tell you about it continually for the rest of my life. Because if God can help me, He can do it for you too. I've learned through this process that we all have a common humanity and that we're all unique. We have different needs and desires, and the circumstances around them will vary. And I've learned that we don't get to decide if someone hurt us or if we hurt them. What I would choose to have occur in my situation might not be what you choose in the same situation. And it's become far too easy to expect that someone has the same wishes, hopes, or desires, because all I've really known is my own diversity. And it seems to me that choosing to ask another some questions about how they want to be treated, being empathetic, and stepping outside my own ego is beneficial in most cases. And honestly, that stops us from breaking the golden rule and the hearts of others. The golden rule, I feel, is really about feeling with someone rather than feeling about them. And think about it for a second. Isn't it true that perhaps we should be questioning our own motives, our own bias and fears before projecting it onto others as judgment? Instead of doing unto them, we choose not to do to them when we can't forgive and love ourselves. Perhaps the real answer here is to set aside our specific likes and dislikes and our feelings and just choose to be loving. Choose to be forgiving, caring, have morals. Choose kindness and compassion in all situations. It's just a thought. Choose a standard of living and reciprocity in all situations and truly imagine yourself at the receiving end of your own behavior. Is it truly how you would like to be treated? Does it seem like the right or wrong thing to do? What happened that caused you to act a certain way? And why do we sometimes get it wrong? I think it's because of our own self-pride and lack of self-love. And I really tend to believe that's the truth. And I've learned quite a bit over the last 9 months. So today's message is this. Jesus has given us this guidance in this verse. This verse, which requires us to align ourselves with our actions and simply love others enough to put their well-being ahead of our own and to live in love as Jesus does. It's about being responsible for who we are as humans and making the world a better place. And it's about using our hearts and not our heads quite so much. And it's about service with humility and grace. And it's truly being loving toward other people, which is the core of who God is. So my friends, today I say to you, you know the answer. I say it at the end of every message. The answer is love, so choose it. My friends, love is the answer. If this resonated with you, please like and share my post. And thank you for your donations to my divine mission and for helping me to keep my messages alive. I'll see you next time.